Hi people, Morgan from back here again. In this video, I'll be discussing the Nephilim, who were the Nephilim, etc. Most people out there are familiar with the Nephilim at a basic level, as in giants that once roamed the earth and the offspring of angels and women. So the offspring of angels and man, fallen angels. In any case, yeah, that's the gist of it. For people that don't know who the Nephilim are, before you continue, simply or whenever you want to consult the article that is linked in the description of this video below. And in the article itself, you'll find a link to the Wikipedia page and so on, the usual things that you need if you want to read all about it. And there you can brush up on who the Nephilim are and several interpretations from several sources. Knock yourself out if you really want to go through all of that and if you don't know who the Nephilim are. But what I just said a few moments ago, what I said just now, who the Nephilim are, that's the gist of it. Okay, this is what the basic occultist or person that has an interest in occultism is familiar with. Who are the Nephilim? If you ask someone like that, they'll say the Nephilim are, I think, giants that once roamed the earth. We've all read it somewhere. And yeah, this video is going to be really short because I'm going to discuss who the Nephilim are, and there's not a lot to say. In relation to my own article, I'm going to read it. In this article, I'll be discussing the Nephilim. For those that don't know who they are, long story short, they were the offspring of angels, fallen angels, and women. See here, and then you have the link on here for general information on them. Before I get down to the core of this article, keep in mind too that for the above link, the Nephilim refers to the giants, so not the fallen angels, aka watchers themselves. Yes, the thing is that in the Wikipedia section, one of the interpretations from a source, I don't know if it's a Jewish source or whatever, it states that fallen angels that were also known as watchers, that they were misconstrued or they were seen as the Nephilim themselves, which is not true. Okay, the Nephilim are basically the offspring of those fallen angels and women, human women. The article is also short. Now down to it, I'm going to discuss what the relevance is. It's short. The Nephilim are, like I mentioned above, the children of fallen angels and women. They were giants because of their demigod likeness and genes, and quote-unquote genes, of course, and lived more or less like the average person back in those times. They were in height 45 to 50 meters tall and mortal like normal people too. They were destroyed during the flood. I spoke with Christ's help to one of their leaders called Hillel. He confirmed the above and said that his father was Azazel and his mother was a woman named Linda Maria. So there's nothing special about them. I mean, since they're like regular people, there's nothing special they bring to the table for an occultist. Working with them would be like necromancy, more or less. Lastly, Hillel appeared as a tall caveman-looking man and also as a demonic-looking figure with set face and the body of a man. He has slight shape-shifting abilities, hence this. That's pretty much it. There's not really a lot else that I have to say. Yeah, so that's who the Nephilim were, and they got destroyed during the flood when God was of the opinion that the world became way too sinful, and he basically made the flood happen, bluntly put, as a clean sheet to start all over again, with a clean sheet, I mean. And yeah, I, with Christ's help by my side, of course, with the Cairo and everything, I summoned their leader, or at the very least one of their most prominent ones, called Hillel. That's pronounced H-E-L-E-L. That's spelled H-E-L-E-L. And yeah, there's not a lot to say. It's like I said, the Nephilim were like human beings. The only difference is that because they were the offspring, they were partially divine offspring-wise. They were a lot bigger in size than the average human being, but for the rest they were like normal people. They were mortal, they died too, they were subject to dying, and to the same things that human beings, so made up of flesh or blood and blood, are subject to. For the rest, there's nothing really special about them. No offense meant to them, of course. The only difference is the stature. They were like 45 to 50 meters tall. Hillel told me that, and even when Hillel stood in front of me, there's not really a lot else that he had to say, you know. There was nothing really that he had to say. He just told me that his father was Azazel and his mother was a human woman named Linda Maria. And for the rest, there is nothing else to bring to the table. I mean, in terms of appearance, when Hillel first appeared, he appeared like um, a creature with the body of a man and the face of a demonic looking creature, kind of like those demon masks that you can buy online. If you just look up demon mask, that's what you can compare it to. And then his second shape was that of a regular man, but not in size, of course. It was a huge guy, of course. And for the rest, he looked more primitive, like a tribal kind of individual, kind of like a caveman. He gave off a caveman vibe. And he had nothing else to say for the rest. Caveman strictly in appearance. For the rest, he was completely normal in regards of vocabulary. He spoke normally. He did everything normally. And he had two balls, especially in the demonic shape. He had two balls. He was chained with two balls. The whole ball and chain thing that prisoners have in movies and so on. That's what he had on both his wrists. So he had two chains and with balls at the ends of them, indicating that it's simply symbolic of the Nephilim also being enslaved up to a certain point and extent. Like I said, like normal human beings, especially back in those times. For the rest, there is nothing else really that I can say about the Nephilim. All the general information that we know about the Nephilim and that is out there is true, more or less. All the general information is true. They are indeed the offspring of fallen angels and man. So women, of course, human women, and that's pretty much it. For the rest, everything I've already said. So let me know if there's anything else let me know if there's anything on your mind, viewers, and I'll hear it in the comment section. Bye.